Hey everybody, welcome back to our Warp World. I'm Jim, Mark's here, Kayla's here, and a special guest returning. Who are you, Andrea?
She left a lasting impression when she first filled in, as you guys know. So, no, Andrea's here today. Guys, how is everybody? We've taken about 3 weeks off. We haven't been on a regular schedule or anything.
Yeah, we had a little schedule mishap or whatever, so here we are 3 weeks later. What do you got going on?
But it really doesn't matter in the podcast because you just keep going.
Yeah, because it'll take me 5 days to get this edited.
Cardinals start tomorrow, my first home game. Andrea, we're leaving at 9:20, by the way, you girls, so you guys better be ready at 9:20.
I'm always ready.
Yeah, you are pretty much always ready. But the Cardinals start tomorrow.
For the podcast at 6?
Yeah.
You podcasters can't see it, but I'm really giving Jimbo the finger right now. Double style.
Oh, I got 2 fingers.
That's what she said.
And 2.
But yeah, so we're going tomorrow. It's exciting. We're gonna have fun. Her friend is in from San Diego. Am I correct? Marnay.
Marnay.
Hello,
Marnay.
Marnay. It's not Marnie. I was told that. So it's not
Marnay.
So Marnay.
And Groupie Carl was back there.
Yeah,
as always.
Groupie Carla. We love Groupie Carla. So Groupie Carla's our favorite. She's our only fan. She's the one that will admit.
Oh, don't call her
we
only
have 3.
fan.
So
After the last show, let's not call my wife
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
Let's not call her the only fan.
We got to give our other 2 shout-outs to Nick and Neil. They're the only 2 other ones.
Nick, Neil, and Carla are the only 3 people to listen.
Well, she's forced to. You don't have a choice.
No, she listens to it voluntarily.
Does she? Do you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with? I don't
Who
even do
hurt
that.
you?
I'm on the show. Yeah. Who hurt you? Oh, good for her.
Yeah, because it sounds so
She's
much better
judging
because
you.
our editing wizard.
Good job. Yeah.
She's like, wow, honey, you could have done a little more on 32.7
So that's what the car. It's really been an uneventful 3 weeks and everything else. We have to get. Kayla has a lot going on. Kayla, tell us what happened in the last week. You've had a rough week.
This last week literally to me felt like a whole year in one damn week. Long story short, because a lot of these people in this room have already heard this story, there was just a lot of layoffs at work and stuff like that. I was safe throughout those layoffs, but they also came out with a reassignment bonus or whatever you
Severance package.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever you want to call it. So I resigned from my job and
Dun, dun,
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Which
on
one's
that.
applause?
no. Yeah.
Oh, well, that was the first one. Okay, dear Lord.
How about it goes.
Let's just make this show go even worse right now.
It was not an easy decision at all, and there was tons of crying across all sorts of boards and stuff like that. But I mean, even talking to the managers, they were like, okay, like we understand.
But I'll honestly say you look happier today.
You do.
That's because I hung out with Andrea all morning.
This is a bunch of horse shit, man.
Okay, so you spent 5 years with this company.
Yes.
You went from ground level to instructor. You were teaching other people how to do this job.
Yes.
Okay.
And one day with me, turn that frown upside down, baby.
That'll do it.
I don't know. I've had like 10 years with you, and you've done opposite. My happiness has gone to sad. I don't know. That's it.
So-
For 10 years.
Don't hit me.
So, all right. So 5 years. And so really when it came down to it, I know, obviously, I'm your dad. I saw the indecision, but tell us a little bit about what made you decide to take the step.
It was just the way that it all happened. You know, I have told everyone also in this room that it was just a firing squad aspect. And one of the managers was like, wow, I didn't even think about it that way. Like, you say some deep stuff, Kayla, when it comes to things that are happening. And I was like, it was just, you'd wake up and look at the schedule just to see who was getting let go, because they would tell them to go to our office instead of one of the many places that we work. So if you saw that on the schedule, you knew 5-10 people were getting let go.
I kind of wish there was an automated message so you didn't have to get up and go to work. It would just be like, you've been fired.
Yeah.
And it's like a text. It'd be fucking great.
Why don't they do that shit over the phone?
That's what I was like. What happens if no one shows up? If I saw that, I would friggin' freak out.
Yeah.
You know, some people didn't even know until the last second.
I've had jobs that I drag my ass all the way in there just to be told, oh, you're not working today. You could have called. It's a long drive. 5 years later, you're done, and you take a little break. You looking for a new career. You open your own business. What are you doing?
I'm surviving. That's it.
Yeah, one day at a time. Good for you. Good for you. So that brings up the question, though, Mark. What was the longest job you were at?
Well, I've owned my business.
Well, yeah, but except for the business, of course. So the longest job that you punched a clock in.
Southwest. I worked at Southwest Airlines for almost 6 years. That's the longest job
6 years?
that I've had. Yeah,
6 years?
and it was great. I mean, but I get really bored. So these people that are like at their jobs for like 20, 30 years, I don't know if I could ever do that because it just gets boring.
Now, you left Southwest because the business grew. And
Yeah,
you didn't have to.
I took my 401. They did a lot for me. So Southwest gave me the opportunity.
Do you think had you not taken the business, do you think you would have gone? You would have stayed at Southwest?
I would have stayed at Southwest probably. This might be a Southwest Airlines plug. I think they need to send us some money for doing
that's
all
right.
this.
We're going to plug Johnny B's next.
Yeah, they were a good company. I met a lot of great people. There was a lot of people that were getting divorced or were single my age. We all made a lot of great friends over the years that I still stay I mean, I haven't been with them since 2000, and I'm still friends with a ton of them.
Yeah, well, I remember in our first episode, you talked the origins of the annual Christmas party coming up came from a Southwest Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah,
right?
we had nowhere to go, so I set up a Christmas tree, and I told everybody I put lights on it, and I told everybody just to bring an ornament, and whoever came through just put the ornament on the tree, and then I cooked dinner for them all, and that's how we all became friends.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. But that's my longest job. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did a summer, I forget who it was with, where I tried to get as many jobs as I could in the shortest amount of time. So I had I would Taco Bell, but I never even showed up. I got the job and I never showed up. But we had a contest going on who.
Mark had an impressive hairnet and name tag collection.
Oh, it was absolutely
Why
great.
does he need a hairnet?
Back then.
You are a guest here, Marnay, so I wouldn't be laughing at anything, so that's not going to happen. But, that's what you haven't been at, like, jobs for a long time.
Yeah, I have.
Well, 5-6 years.
That's a long time. I'm
Okay,
only
wait,
29.
whoa,
So let's talk about this is a
whoa,
difference
whoa.
right now.
No, Andrew, you're what, 30?
I'm about to turn 30 in October.
30 in October, okay.
So stay
next
somewhere-
month, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
all right, so what's the longest job you've been at in your 15 years of working, let's say 16 or 14 years?
The longest job that I've ever had would probably be at a coffee shop called Tim Hortons. Well, yeah, Tim Hortons and Victoria's Secret as a bra specialist. I worked at both of those jobs for 4 years.
I'd like to be a bra specialist.
A bra specialist. I see
I was
Mark.
That would be my greatest job
Mark
ever.
has new career plans.
I was a bra and fit specialist and sales
All
specialist.
right.
so-
Well, Johnny B's will be up for sale as Mark
Yes, I'm going to be a
enters
bra
his new
specialist.
career
That's-
field.
I want to be a bra consultant now. That's what I want to be.
All right. So you were, and how long were you at those jobs?
I was at Victoria's Secret and Tim Hortons each for about 4 years. I worked at Victoria's Secret through beauty school, and a little bit after that, I put myself through beauty school because of the commissions I made on sales.
For 4 years.
But that's not so us long is 10, 15, 20 years at a position.
That's like half my
So
life.
Kayla,
Well, no, you just said your longest job was 6 years, right?
but I had a business. It wasn't
Yeah, but you left a job after 6 years.
because I think
whatever your choice
Kayla's
is.
present job is her longest job, isn't it?
No, technically Domino's was longer by like a month.
And how long
Or
is
like
that?
2 weeks. That was 5 years and a month.
Oh wow. Okay, so
Okay, so mine also was Domino's. I was a manager for Domino's for 8 years. In that position for that company. Now I went back and drove, and I've been in and out of the pizza business for 25 years. All right, so you got 6 years. You have
4 years.
You have 5 years, 1 month, and I had 8 years. Now, see, my 8 years at Domino's sucked the life out of me. So, and I noticed that this job was sucking the life out of Kayla. So I encouraged her. to take severance back.
So we talked about this earlier, and this is something that we wanted to bring up. It's a little different from our generation to theirs. Our generation was you work it, you do whatever, you do what you got to do.
Right.
With their generation, it's like if I'm not happy, I'm moving on.
Yeah,
we weren't that way in ours. We
I
were told
wish-
our parents worked at jobs they hated for 30 years because it paid the bills and everything else,
Right.
and they do it. So you guys are different. You guys are this. You're I don't want to call it the woke thing, but it's a different thing because you guys are looking at more of a work-life balance where we never looked at that, and our parents never
we
looked at that.
didn't. Us or our parents didn't have that opportunity.
Right.
And
We
I really
were given
wish.
this.
I really
don't
wish I
think
did.
That has anything to do with our age. the
No,
work-life balance.
it's not so much your age as the generation because back Generation X
I
and
don't
the
know, like-
boomers, we that was our thing. You know, I had a family to support. I hated my job. It sucked the life out of me. I still went and did it day after day after day after day because I had to support my family.
Right. And now, so to me, people in your generation are quitting jobs because you're not, which I'm not faulting. It's because you're not happy or anything else. I get that.
I think it's awesome.
But we never had that opportunity, and I've never been taught that way. So it's
right. I mean, we had the opportunity. We could have left anytime we wanted.
Yeah, there were job opportunities and everything.
Right, but you left Southwest because you had an opportunity.
So now you're on a job look right now, Kayla. You're going to be on a, what is important to you? What are you looking for?
I am looking for, obviously, money. It always comes down to money, but even then, I want a decent schedule. I don't want to be working all the time or, stuff like that. It really, I don't know. If it's interesting, it's interesting. If it's not, it's not, kind of thing.
So schedule and money.
Yeah.
Work-life balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've also talked to a lot of people, and I said that this week, talking to a bunch of different people, that I've wanted to find that company that, like, this is it. This is where I'm staying. This is what I'm doing. The company that I was in was never supposed to be a 5-year thing. It was a 2-year contract when I first started. You contracted out, and then you would wait like 6 months to come back into the company. But when this other company took over, we became full-time employees, and that extended it the 3 more years that I thankfully was able to get.
So were you always kind of thinking in your head, I'm out of here. This isn't a full-time thing. I like it, and it's done well for me, but I'm not expecting to be here long-term.
Oh, yeah. No, 100% from the start, and then especially like last year. Last year, before I got into the stuff that I was doing, like around the time we started this podcast, I was trying to get out of there last year. But I moved into a different department. We moved into different training things, and that saved it because I wasn't doing all of the stuff I was doing. But once I got out of that, and then they just put me into whatever, and that's all I was doing, that changed the game.
Because I'm going to honestly say you seem very at ease. For somebody that lost their job,
didn't lose.
I know, but
no, you can definitely see the difference.
There's a difference. So there's almost something that I put merit in you. I would always get mad at you. I'm like, you don't fucking quit your job because you're unhappy. If you're making good money and it's supporting you, you can't just. But now I'm seeing already, just in a 48-hour period, you might not see it, but me and Jim already see it.
Yeah, well,
so
look
there
at
might
the difference.
Be something for
look
that.
At the difference between me now and when I was managing pizza. I was miserable. I was never here. And I was miserable, and it's if a job sucks the life out of you, get out.
Well, the same, Andrew, you've had jobs that you haven't liked, and now you're in positions that you're very happy in, and so yeah. I mean, what's important? You're the same age as Kayla over there. What are you thinking?
Well, my thing is like, I'm not afraid to work hard, just like Kayla's not afraid to work hard. It's not like we're like, oh, we're not happy that we're gonna leave. It's like, there has to be some give and take, and a lot of people are in that in that spot as management that don't want to appreciate good, hardworking employees. Mm-hmm. It's like they expect you to just go to work and do anything, but they don't want to give you benefits. They don't want to give you time off. They don't want to give you health insurance.
So I'm going to give you a why. Because it's exactly what we're talking about right now. It's a huge gap in between. Our age people are going, you're going to work your ass off because I didn't get this, I didn't. So we're owning businesses and now we're expecting that, and that's not coming. So I'm not saying that's wrong, but we're seeing a different aspect. And I don't think, I have problem hiring DJs because I need this weekend off. I'm like, you're a DJ. Right. You can't ask for fucking Saturdays off, okay?
No, that's different. Because, as a hairdresser, if I go into hair, I know if I'm going to be a full-time hairdresser, weekends are part of the gig, right? You don't go into hair thinking, I'm going to get every Saturday and Sunday off. If you go in to be a DJ, you're going to be. But it's like.
But they'll ask that in the interview. Well, and I'm like, and you're like, when do you usually know? When do you DJ? On a Tuesday at a fucking bar? I mean, when do you DJ? It's really weird to see. So.
But there's nothing wrong with expecting people, your bosses, if they expect you to friggin' work to your bone and give up time with your family and all these things, to be compensated well and to have health insurance and to have those things. There's nothing wrong with expecting just normal living.
Would you guys? So I'm going to ask you guys: would you sacrifice dollar amounts if you had more? Work-life balance. Would you sacrifice money, or what would you prioritize? I guess.
No, I would take money.
Okay, outside of work-life balance.
Okay, so you're
Yes.
gonna get $30 an hour.
But you're working
But you're
Friday nights,
working-
Saturday nights, Sunday nights.
I work 6 days a week right now.
No, but I'm
Okay.
asking you. This is going to be a
But
fuck
that's
up
your choice.
because she's
Yes.
just got offered that. She could have stayed with her company, but they wanted her to work 1:45 to 10:45. Right? She didn't want to do that because that was the work-life balance sucks. She wouldn't be, and I'm with you on that. You wouldn't be able to do anything.
Well, I guess that's my difference for work-life balance. My work-life balance is I work every day. I work 7:30 to 6:30 at night, Monday through Thursday, and then I
All
work
right,
Saturdays
well-
and Sundays.
Let me ask real quick. Are you an hourly wage or are you paid
I'm
per
hourly.
person?
but
No, I'm
you
not
still
really.
go out at night. You
Yeah,
still
so
have a
that's what I'm saying.
secondary.
If
A
I had-
1:45 to 10.
Yeah, no, if I had to work 1:45 to 10, I wouldn't do that shift anymore. I did it in my
See,
early
we're-
20s, and I did my time.
So
doing
let me
that
say,
shift.
I had a 12:30 and a 9. I didn't have a choice. It sucked.
Yeah.
I met a lot of great people on it, but I understand it's a screw your life shift. It is
I
you
had
don't
4 to
do
midnight
anything.
for 8 years. I couldn't stand
Yeah,
it.
no, I get that. And I did my time, and I worked at Tim Hortons. I worked 1:30 to 10:30 when my early 20s, my 18, 19, early 20s, and college and stuff, or, just the shitty shifts. And I do believe that at some point in everybody's life, you have to work those shitty shifts to earn your keep.
When
Sure.
did you think? Okay, so when did you think that stopped for you? Age.
Like, at almost 30, I feel like,
Okay.
if I done my time. She's almost 30.
Kayla, how about you? What age did you think? Okay, I'm done. I'm not working these shitty shifts. I'm not doing this anymore.
I would probably say the same thing within the last year or two because I was on that 145 shift for a good, I've been there for 5 years. I was on that for 3 years and I said, I'm never going to mornings. I'm not a morning person. And then the opportunity last year, we were working 7 to 4. It was really like 7 to noon. I worked half days most of the time and got the full 8, but it was being able to be home, be here at night, go out, go do whatever, that really changed the game. I didn't have to take a whole day off to go to a party or to an event. And that was a big part of it too, as to why I walked away, because I have too much stuff going on and we don't get a lot of time off in that company. It took forever just to get one PTO day off. And even then they only gave us a very small amount. So
That's
it's
my
like,
thing. I agree with that.
I already have things that I paid for earlier this year because I anticipated having at least one of my weekend days.
Yeah, I can see that as an issue. If you're changing jobs, that's a big deal. If you're planning something 6 months from now that you have all planned and that's what you're going to do,
Right.
and then you start a new job and then you can't have that off.
And
That's got to be.
The other part of it too was that we literally just did this big shift rotation. I want to say, let's say 6 months ago or a year ago, where they uplifted everybody's life and told you, suck it up, deal with it. We all did. We did whatever. And then not even 2 months ago, we did it again. And then 2 months later, this all started and this happened. And it's like, I can't take the gamble to see how long it's going to take to shift it again, to hopefully get a shift that I want. And then 2, I can't have a routine.
We deserve stability. It's like if you want us to have the crappy shifts, whatever. But I think what's wrong is like your generation has set up this mentality because of your parents' generation. That's like, well, we worked crummy jobs and we accepted bull crap and we took
Right.
like
It's
We
'cause
did.
our
and then,
parents did.
and then
Right.
that's what and then we come along. We're like, yeah, we see your struggle and thank you so much for doing that for
But
us.
no
but
thanks.
no thanks. I want health
Yeah, so
insurance.
but you guys are getting mad at us for going, okay, when you guys apply for jobs, we're like, Jesus,
Well, no, there's
fuck,
certain things like I do agree. Like I am kind of like an assistant manager at the salon that I work at, and when you first start at a job, like when I even started orthodontics, right? I wasn't the highest paid treatment coordinator. I'm still learning. I don't expect to go in and make what everybody's making. I do believe you have to start at the ground level and work your way up.
But at every job,
I mean, when you're not at every job, but it's based on experience,
right? Of course, okay.
So, everybody, you have to earn your keep. Now, if I were to start somewhere at a treatment coordinating job, which I have, it's like, no, I don't deserve bottom of the barrel. Like, I've been doing this for almost 6 years.
Well, and that's what
Okay, but
then-
again, I'm trying to have you define bottom of the barrel. Again, is it if you're making 26? I'm not gonna. But if they're gonna offer you 25, but 10 more vacation days, or 10
see.
more,
If it's like $1 or $2 and I get better benefits, that saves me money in the long run for the money that I'd have to pay
so
into
on
my
your
benefits.
job search coming up, what is going to be?
I want a decent schedule. I'm not working
Okay.
any fucking schedule you want because I did that. I did that
Okay.
in pizza. I did that with this job. You know, I bent over the fucking barrel for this job a lot of the time, working 3:45 a.m. one day, turning around working 3 p.m. the next day to turn around and work at 7 a.m. the next day. You know, so I put in my time doing that dumb shit, and I'm not about that.
I'm not about to sell my soul to make you money so you can pay me like $1 more than minimum wage.
Like we did.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, you want me to work hard, that's fine, but you're going to pay me my work.
So we thought that way. We just never said it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they're enacting on it. We didn't do that as
Right, no,
we
we-
thought that way as our generation.
'Cause
We're like,
that's
you're fucking us up. But these guys are actually enacting it, and they're not taking jobs now. Where we didn't. We just took it, and we were like, we're taking the – they're actually not taking the jobs.
I even went back into management circumstantially, but ended up the same thing.
It's kinda legit.
7 days a week. I just had a post on Facebook 11 years ago today. I worked 21 days in a row. 21 days. Some open to Clopen, where I'd open the store,
Is that what they
close
call
the
it? Is
store.
it a cloven?
It's a
Yeah,
Clopen.
it's when you open the store, close the store, and then go back and open 8 hours later. You know, I'm old. I'm not doing that anymore. You know,
I mean, we've all done our fair share of crappy stuff, crappy shifts. I've done it. Kayla's done it. Marnay in the back's done it.
But
Carla's
isn't that a
done
way
it.
of growing up? Isn't that a way of putting
It's
in
a-
your time?
No, yeah, it's a rite of passage. But at what point? It's like, okay, I'm making you like our old boss. I'm not gonna say who, but our old boss thought he was doing us a favor by giving us a 25-cent raise, 50-cent raise. I'm like,
Yeah, that's not
I'm like,
that's
back
the
in our
business.
back in our day, though, that was a big deal.
but here's the thing. Like,
In the beginning.
when I tell
Right.
people what I make an hour and what I make, people are like, "Wow, that's a lot of money." And I'm like, "Yeah, but rents are $2,000."
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's
The-
like
like we were
the cost
discussing,
of living, the inflation,
wages
is
aren't
crazy.
going up
No,
with everything
exactly.
else.
It's the wages aren't matching the inflation that's happening.
Right.
So it's like on paper, when I tell people like what I make, they're like, "Wow, that's good for someone that doesn't have college." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, you're right." But you know what's not fair is like I make $28 an hour. That's not like crap on money, but if I lived in Maine, made $28, I could buy a house. Here in Arizona, it's like I got to go get 2 50-year-old roommates and share a 4-bedroom house to survive. Like, that's,
Well, like right now, as the interest rates go up and my business starts to dwindle because, you know, I'm a loan signing agent. I sign, you know, home sales. You know, I'm looking for a job and tell you right now, schedule is probably the biggest thing, top priority.
Our age, it should be. I do. And so I understand you guys are just basically now stating what we couldn't state. Because if you were in a job interview and we said that, they'd laugh you out.
Right.
They would go to the next person and they would hire the.
And that's probably what's going to happen to me now.
But now you guys actually get away with going to a job interview and saying, okay, well, tell me the work-life balance schedule, how this is going to work. Whereas we never had that option of when we applied.
Well, no, that's why a lot of people are quitting probably quickly because they say, you know, we don't up front go into an interview and say, well, what's it like? How many hours am I actually working? You know, once you get into the job and you think, okay, I'm supposed to work 7 to 4, be off by 4 o'clock, blah, 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 blah. They don't do that. Oh no, we need you to stay until 6:30 or your, you know, closer didn't show up. So now you need to work until at least this time until we can get somebody here. You know, it's not that we're demanding.
And this is what's happening. It's going to take one more generation because right now millennials are working for Gen Xers or companies that are run by Gen Xers.
Right. And it's a big difference right now.
But
It's
we
a
have that
huge
mentality
difference.
of, the closer left, you have to stay, blah, 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 blah.
You know what?
Millennials don't deal with that.
But here's the thing: as a millennial, I have no problem doing that. But you better treat me
Compensate me
like I'm.
or
Yeah,
get-
you
okay.
better
Oh, no,
treat me
but
like
see,
I'm doing that for you.
Gen X doesn't do that though.
Yeah,
We
like
don't. We were like,
you're lucky you have a
put our
job.
time- You're lucky
Yes.
you have a job.
Someone said that to me.
Absolutely. They're not lying.
An older gentleman at my job said that to me because I've talked to like everybody about this decision at my work. You know, not everybody, but I have a lot of family that work there. So I was talking to them. He stumbled into the conversation. He straight up looked at me and said, well, at least you have a paycheck. And I'm like, for what though? I'm never going to have any time to go out because I work this schedule.
Time out. You just said for what? Where we never asked that. That is where the huge difference is
Right.
because we never asked for what. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying we're better or anything, but we never asked that. We
I-
never
Here's my
asked
thing.
I
that.
actually, as a Gen X, will say they're right. They're right for standing up for themselves and wanting to be
But-
treated
Yeah,
by these
I-
giant companies
but-
that treat people like shit.
Well, here's the thing too that you guys don't realize too. Well, maybe you do, and we just haven't brought it up. The millennials are the first generation to be set up with the most debt out of all generations.
We are fucked.
We have been set up to fail more than any other generation for debt, for school, for inflation. Look it up. We are the ones to set up for the most debt out of any generation.
Who put you in that debt?
Just because, like, for school,
Yeah, I guess
and
I want to know,
housing, and,
how
like,
am I feeling? Who do you think put you
Yeah.
there?
Well, because now when you could just go get a job. Like, let's just use, you have a friend that's worked somewhere that starts at the bottom barrel, okay? And then they work their way up and they can make really good money. Our generation, they won't hire us unless we have a 4-year degree, and then they're going to pay us $1 above minimum wage.
I think I agree with you, but I think that's going away now. I think a lot
But it's
of
too late for us at 30 years old.
Right. It's the next generation. The millennials did get screwed in that you need a college degree to have a good job or anything. But I'll say Kayla got herself into debt and she got herself out of debt.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, to a point. I mean, let's quote debt. What is debt? I mean,
she worked really hard to get herself into a spot now to where, you know, she's okay to take a little time to figure out a job that she wants. I'm very proud of her for it. You know, I got myself into debt that I couldn't get.
If I had the skills and I were to work hard, they would hire somebody above me that has like a psychology degree that has nothing to do with it and pay them like more money because they have a psychology
our advancement
degree.
opportunities were easier than theirs.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will agree.
Well,
with
and
that.
that's the thing.
It
Someone-
really was.
Someone put this thing, you need a 4-year degree. I don't care what it's in, but it shows that you're committed. Yeah, bullshit.
That
Yeah,
is.
and I'm happy to say I think that's going away. People aren't wanting that 4-year degree.
Well, they're going to
Well,
have
they
to
can't.
because they're demanding more.
Well,
I
the
mean,
problem
it's-
is they can't anymore because people are like, you know, they're not going to accept.
No, because college costs so much now.
Yes.
People can't afford to go to college. So right now it's
People are starting to go back to trades.
you'll pay a 4-year degree more, but someone without the 4-year degree, you know.
There are people that I know, like I have a cosmetology license. My cosmetology friends that have been able to sit down and really work on their cosmetology businesses make more than somebody that has a 4-year degree in psychology. But like when I
Right.
told people I was going to not psychology. When I told people I was going to go get my cosmetology license, they looked at me and they were like, I won't say who, but they were like, "Oh, really? I thought you were going to get like a real person degree." Like it's like,
Yeah,
what?
well, that's just people that are they're ignorant.
Yeah, and people are.
It doesn't
ignorant
matter. I don't
and
care what career
snobbish.
you're in. I don't porn to fucking physician. I don't give a shit, man. It's just if you're happy doing whatever you're doing, I don't care, and it's making the bills, and you're not screwing anybody over.
I'm going to
ever.
hire as a manager. I would hire experience over college.
But you have to pay for that, and
Yeah.
they're calling that out now.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going with all this. I mean, it's a big difference. I really believe that this is a problem in America because we're expecting.
A lot of work for no money.
Right, we are,
Yeah.
I don't think it's just that's how we were brought up. This is what you're going to do, and we're seeing you guys, and we're thinking you're lazy, which you're not, but we're looking at it in an aspect of, come on, what the fuck do you guys
kinda
want?
like-
What else do you want, for God's sakes? You know,
You're kinda
do you want my
like-
firstborn?
Yes, sometimes
you
it does go too far the other way.
Absolutely. I mean,
Well, you have
I
to
need
meet in the
safe.
middle.
I need safe space. I need
No,
mental time. No,
I
you
need
don't.
mental days off.
I think you have to meet in the middle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to show up and work hard, but at the same time, you should give us a livable wage if we're going to put in the work.
livable wage.
Okay,
I
but
100% agree.
Kayla, can I ask you something? Did your company have mental health days?
Nope.
Actually, it's a federal law that you can use your 3 sick days.
We
as
didn't
a mental
have
health
that.
day.
So you're asking about money, and you're asking, but you're getting 3 or 4 or 5 more days off than we ever
3.
got for mental health.
Well,
for
you
men,
get a
for,
sick.
we didn't
Yeah,
have
no,
any
those
mental
are
health
those
days.
aren't mental health days. Those are sick.
But you
so
can use it-
my sickness is my mental health. So when I get COVID 2
See-
days later, I have to go to work with COVID because
I-
And I'm completely not saying that they're wrong, but we're not
I've-
understanding it. We're
I've
not
had
getting
bosses that. How sick are you? Couldn't you come in and just
Hold your breath.
hold
and
your
not breathe on
breath?
the
You know,
pizza.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
It was
it's
never
the absolute truth.
It was never about getting your fellow employees sick. It was never about getting the customer sick. It was, can you come in?
And
You're not sick enough to not work. Are you in the hospital? Then you should be
But
here.
Jim, do you know what that was? It's because the person in front of you didn't want to stay. So it was that guilt trip. It was you need to come
No,
in.
me as a manager, I was told, how sick are you? You can go into work if you're just not feeling well.
So now you guys, we're calling it sick days, but it just took a lot more. You guys are not calling it mental health days, and it's part of your PTO, and it's part of your. So I get that.
But I don't use those days like that.
But there are a lot of people that do.
that
There's
do,
a lot
but-
of people that
It's
do.
my understanding that the Army now issues stress cards, and if you're feeling too much heat from your drill sergeant, you hold up your stress card and you're given a day off. What the fuck?
That's a little weird because if you're in the army, you gotta be a little tough.
He's gonna
But-
get beat up in the barracks
Yeah,
fucking that night.
like-
What's gonna
Fuck
happen?
the,
man?
fuck the barracks. I'm talking about here,
Jesus,
Mr. Taliban
man.
guy. Here's my stress card. Can you not shoot me?
Can you not shoot this card? I have my card. I have my card.
No, but
Oh,
you know what though? Mental health and suicide is a severe pandemic. Right?
Sure,
it's like
it is.
epidemic right now.
It is.
Like
So
Let's wrap this up. We're going to come back. And we're going to talk about our horrible roommate stories.
yes, we are.
Okay, we're back. Wow, that created a lot of spirited discussion during
That
the
was
break there.
fun. That was a fun discussion.
That was a good one.
We might actually take that onto a whole nother
I
show.
think Marnay hung up her phone and actually was agreeing on a few
Yeah,
things over
so
there.
we might
We actually had somebody put her phone down and was like having that
we
means
might
everything.
do another show just on jobs.
Yeah,
All
that was
right.
kinda fun.
So we're going to talk about some horrible roommates. I'm going to be really honest up front. I've had one roommate. He is sitting across the table from me.
sounds pretty horrible.
You know what?
You win.
No, honestly, it's funny when you listen to this show now. Back then, I was the one that partied all the time. I'd come home from work at McDonald's 11 o'clock. Friends would come over, beer on, music. Mark and his first wife, they weren't married at the time. We all three of us lived together. We'd all three been friends since fourth grade.
Shared
I
the
knew
same bed,
I've
it
known
was
Mark.
fine.
I've known Mark's first wife a month longer than him.
Yeah, he actually does.
But
Shut up.
so I was the one that was partying and drinking and stuff like that, and between Mark and I, much love Annette, but
We're gonna Annette. When you listen, we're gonna do a segment of "Call My Ex-Wife," and you're gonna be the one I call. We're gonna do "Call My
okay.
Ex-Wife."
Let me say this: Annette was the most responsible of the three of us. Okay, she had a job, she had things to do, and Jim
A
coming
baby
home.
on the way.
Jim,
No, it wasn't.
no.
This was way
This-
before
this
the
was
baby.
long before the
so
marriage.
And
It
a
was
gay
just-
straight boyfriend.
It was-
Yes, yes. No, she's absolutely right, Jim. Why can't we
All right.
leave that?
Yeah, we're gonna take that out.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought that was great. I thought that was good.
She did have a
Okay.
gay straight boyfriend.
I know,
All
but
right. So,
All right.
So anyway, so I don't much past Mark's cat Chester shitting in my shoe. There really wasn't any issues. I was the horrible roommate back then, I would say.
I don't think you were a horrible roommate. So I mean, listen, we're all talking about roommates now and everything else. And so I've been divorced twice, married
Listening.
3 times. I've had 7 years in between times I've had to get roommates. I mean, it just hasn't. So I had my very first roommate when I was 17. No names or whatever else,
Right.
but so he was my manager where I worked at a restaurant, and he was only like 6 years older than me, so 22, 23 years old, whatever. You need a place to, now you realize you just need a place to stay. So he gets all fucked up one night and just gets fucking hammered. And he brings his friend over, and I'm working 12-hour days. I'm 17. I'm on my own. I'm still a senior.
Where
high-
were you working at then?
Oh, I was working at
Restaurant?
Peter Piper Pizza,
Oh, okay.
and I was working at Jack in the Box or KFC, whatever the
Okay.
fuck it was, one of the two. And so I come home, and him and his roommate and whatever had a couple guys over, and they were so fucked up. The place is trashed. I walked through the fucking door, and they put the TV in the refrigerator. They took out all the shit and put the TV in the fucking refrigerator.
Now, mind you, back then we did
They
not.
were huge TVs. They stuck out like this big.
We did not have flat screens TV. These were these
These
big
were
box.
these big box
Listen, I
TVs.
had that
87.
too. I have a question though. Was your couch still in your living room?
The couch was actually we're gonna get to you. Anyways, me and my girlfriend at the time, we had a bunny, and we left it. It was our
Playboy?
pet in my freaking house, in my apartment. My apartment. This guy with my manager was just freaking renting it out from me.
Okay, so you were
On
on
the
lease.
time I come home and I open up the freaking bathroom, the whole bathroom and my bunny are pink. They dyed the fucking bunny pink,
No,
and it
they
shook
didn't.
so many times that everything in the bathroom is freaking pink. He wakes up, and I go, you need to get your fucking shit and get the shit out. I got a pink bunny rabbit walking around the goddamn thing. I've got my TV in the refrigerator.
What did they use to dye with?
They went and got dyed. That's how fucked up they
so
dyed
this
my
wasn't like
bunny
some
rabbit.
Pepto-Bismol and these
No,
vomiting
they
or anything.
dyed my fucking rabbit, dude.
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Went to
Wow.
Sally's.
Do you know how long it took him
Got
to
some
grow
direct
that shit
dye.
out? It actually looked pretty good. It was like pinkish, whatever. If it was a gay rabbit, he would have looked great. It's fabulous. It would look great. But yeah, it's just fine. It's just great. It's just
We'll see if that makes it.
that should make it.
It was fabulous.
But if it was a gay bunny rabbit, that's what it would have been. Well, he pranced a lot too. It was
Where do I even start?
Start with your horrible roommates.
Okay, well, the first one was I would have to say the number one worst roommate I had was when I just moved back to California and I met a friend. We became pretty close, and we're like, you know what? We're gonna save some money. And we're gonna get this apartment together. And she was like, you don't have to worry about furniture because I already have this furniture, so I'll just bring my furniture. And I'm like, okay, great. So we move in together. And at first it was fine. Then she started dating this guy that she met at Walmart, and we literally referred to him as Walmart because he's a POS. So
and you're editing my part.
hey, POS was
Okay,
fine.
I get it. Okay.
Anyway, so going
We
for
haven't mentioned anything about primates and their fists. I'm good.
Yeah.
not this podcast. Anyway, so we go and go through. I start going to church. I go to this small group, and I meet a friend, and this friend and I are pretty close. It's a male friend, whatever. Not like that. Literally just platonic. We started going to some Cardinal games and drinking, and so we were gonna go to the Cardinal games. One of the Cardinal games with my aunt and my uncle, and he's like, "Hey, we're kind of drunk." And I'm like, yeah, we are. He's like, can I crash on your couch? I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's pretty normal, right? If your friend's drunk, you let him sleep on your couch. But yeah, sure. Come over and sleep on my couch. Well, my old roommate was at Walmart's house, and I didn't think to text her because she wasn't home because she was at her boyfriend's house. So I was like, we're going to be gone. It was like 3 a.m. We had to be at Uncle Mark's house at like 8 a.m. So I was like, we'll be gone before she gets here. But I guess this like little bitty comes home at 5 a.m. and sees my friend on the couch. He had stripped down to his boxers and was sleeping there. But he's a pretty clean guy. He's pretty much a woman. Like showers twice a day,
He's pretty much.
moisturizes, does face masks, and so whatever. So he's sleeping on the couch in his boxers, and so we get up. I guess she came home, saw him, and left, and we go to the Cardinals game, and so that all happened. So that was one thing, and then one time when she first started dating Walmart, she brought him home. So she calls me and she tells me, hey, you'll never believe what happened to me. And I'm like, you're probably right. And here I am just like in my fat pants, bun on top of my head, eating ice cream from the carton, watching Golden Girls. And she's like, you'll never believe what happened to me. I'm like, you're probably right, I won't. And she's like, I just met a guy at Walmart. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, like I was looking for light bulbs. And he came over to me and was like, hey girl, can I help you find these light bulbs? And so they walked around all of Walmart, and then he asked her out to go get dinner. And so they left Walmart and went to the Olive Garden and had a date.
Did he work at Walmart?
No, he's just there.
Just offering help. Okay.
And offering help because he thought that she was like,
All right. Hey, whatever.
whatever.
Chivalry is not dead in Walmart.
No, I guess.
Oh, no, it's dead. Dead and gone. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm like, if you're going to pick up a man, please at least look at Target, you know? Target's for the classy people.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Anyway, so she meets him and then she goes to Olive Garden and has dinner, and he buys her dinner, which I was like, yeah, good for you. I'm just still eating my ice cream out of the carton here on the couch. And so she's like, hey, like I bought all these groceries, and it was January. She's like, and I need to bring them home, but he said that he'll follow me back to our house while I bought these groceries. I'm like, and you just met him now at Walmart? She's like, yeah. I'm like, Do not. Have you ever watched 60 Minutes? Dateline?
Dateline.
Isn't that like all the How I Met a Serial Murder or something
I
started?
don't want to be an
know.
episode of 60 Minutes, so can you not let this guy follow you home to bring home your... I was like, do you have anything that's perishable? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay, let it sit in the back of your car. Like, go to a bar, have a drink. Like, do not bring him back to our apartment.
So did she bring him home?
No.
Oh,
No, I put my foot down, but she needed to know this. So then a few weeks later, she did bring him home, okay? And he comes out. I came home and she's like, oh, hey, here. And I was like, cool. And she's like, I'm like, okay, great. So he comes out of her room and he's wearing her bathrobe,
Jesus.
but no,
Well, they're comfortable.
but no clothes under the bathrobe, but like little tiny undies. And he doesn't have the bathroom clothes.
The
He doesn't
bathrobe
have.
clothes.
It's like open, and I'm just sitting there staring at this guy the first time I meet him in my house with his like tidy whities on.
I was going to ask, is he wearing banana hammock or anything? Or
No,
just
tidy
tidy
whities.
whities. Okay.
Tight. Emphasis on the tighty
Oh, okay.
whities. And then I had like some slippers, and he tries to take his bare foot and stick it in my slippers, just like weird. And then he goes and hides in a room and talks to his quotations mark sister that he shares a 1-bedroom apartment with. That was weird forever, and it was really weird. So all these things happened. So this girl and I, we ended up kind of breaking up there for a minute because she just kind of went crazy on me. She got mad because my friend slept on the couch because he was drunk. And so,
But she brings Walmart home.
but she brings Walmart home. And she also was like, hey, you really need to meet this guy. Like, you really need to get out there. Like, you need to get you some. Like, I found this guy. He's going to be amazing for you. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, still eating ice cream on the couch. And I'm like, what does he look like? And she's like, oh, I don't have a picture of him, but I'll bring you one. And I'm like, okay. So 2 days later, she comes home and she's like, I am such a slut. And I was like, oh, did you have... Oh, by the way, she's married in an open marriage. Anyway, I was like, oh, did you...
Why you're living together?
Yes. I said, oh, did you have sex with this person? And she's like, no. I said, oh, did you have phone sex with this person? She's like, no. I said, oh, did you have FaceTime sex with your husband? She's like, no. I said, and then I looked at her and I said, did you have sex with the guy you were trying to set me up with? And she's like, yes. I'm like, what, was that like a test drive before you buy kind of a situation? Like, she's like, it's okay though. We used a condom.
Oh,
I
wow.
was like, oh, well, as long as you used a condom.
But
right.
where was the husband?
Well,
They were separated.
No, they have an open marriage. He would like it when she would call him and tell him the deets.
You live
Ugh.
with the couple.
No, he lived in Utah.
No,
Oh,
he lived
okay.
in Utah.
Anyway, so all these things have happened, and she got mad because my friend got drunk and I let him sleep on the couch. So she sent me this text that was like, hey, I don't think we should live together anymore after this lease is up. I'm like, okay, whatever. Next thing, I can't remember what started the fight, but she was like, told me that like I was dirty and that I was all these things. She took all of her furniture out of the apartment and the couch and she hid it in the garage so I couldn't sit on it. She took out all the furniture. She took the plates. She took and then it was crazy. And she kept saying that I was dirty. She literally threatened to kick my dog.
Didn't she lock the lock for food? Didn't she
yes.
put a lock? Yeah.
She put and
She
would
put a lock on the pantry.
So I
Oh, Jesus.
and I was like, this is so weird. And so I tried to have her come home and talk to me about it because I'm not good at confrontation. I'm not always good at using my words. So I was just waiting for her to come home so we could talk. And she told me she's like, well, because she had my dog's sister, and she was like, she's like, well, when we buy dog food, because we just split it. I mean, why buy 2 bags of dog food? I just send her money, right? And so she was like, well, when we buy dog food, like when it's half full, I would just go out and buy it. But you would wait till it's like almost empty before you bought dog food. And I'm like, I mean,
You bitch.
I was like, I mean, yeah, I don't feel the need to go buy dog food when it's half full. When it's almost gone, I'll go buy some. And then one time we had like water jugs, like the 5-gallon water jugs that you had a cooler, right? And she's like, you wouldn't go buy water? She's like, you would wait till we had one water jug left, and then you'd go fill up all 4 instead of just. And when I would go buy it when we had 2 empty jugs, and I'm like, I mean,
You bet.
no, it's like
How the
to
fuck
me,
are you even sitting here on my podcast?
I don't
Holy
You
crap.
need to get out right now.
Oh, shit.
Exactly.
I was just like, I'm not saying your way is wrong, but it's kind of like potato, you know, like whatever.
Wait, on the water jug thing though, Mark had a horrible roommate. His roommate took the entire 5-gallon water jug and made it grape Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's
yeah.
pretty cool, though.
Yeah. It was all right.
It was
all
cool.
right.
That was me, guys.
Yeah.
But like, she got mad because this friend of mine slept on the couch, and I was like, well, she told me, she's like, and it was weird to come home, and she told our mutual friends, like, it was weird to come home and Andy had some dirty man on our couch, and I was like, dirty man, he's more feminine than you. What do you mean dirty?
Well,
We had some. Yeah, we had some great. This one
okay, well,
blows
wait
up.
a minute. You know, I didn't realize that Andrea was going to tell us how horrible of a roommate she was.
Yeah.
As you know,
With waiting on buying dog
and
food
I am
and
taking
selling water.
applications for new roommates if anyone's interested.
You're full, okay?
Marks, your friends interact with your Facebook page a little bit more.
Oh,
than mine.
it was awesome.
You got
yeah.
some stories.
So there was one where they said that they lived with a roommate that actually got up and watched the other roommate sleep. That he
That's
actually
creepy as
woke
fuck.
up in the middle of the night and he saw his one roommate watching at the end of the bed, watching his other roommate sleep.
I mean, I do that
And he
to
was
Marnay
like,
when
I moved
sleep at
out.
her
And
house.
because he said he moved out like friggin' 10 days later or something like that.
All right, so there's 3 people living together. He wakes up.
He
and
wakes up in
catches-
the middle of the night and catches his one roommate watching the other roommate
And these
sleep.
are all guys? Or?
Yeah, they're all guys.
Oh, wow. That is creepy.
That's kind of weird. And then of course we
kind of
have
weird.
the my roommate slept with my sister. There was one on that one, you know, and and you're like, these are free. So you guys don't understand how good a position you 3 Marnay with a pastor. Do you have any good that you can add?
I have plenty of roommate stories.
Do you have,
All right, give us one
give
quick
us one
one.
quick one. Come on, Marnay.
and we don't need to know what color shirt they're wearing.
I'm trying to think. So I regrettably lived with 5 girls
Ooh.
in my early 20s
Oh, wow.
in a nice big old home. We all had our own room, which was nice. But 3 out of the 5 girls wanted family dinner
Oh,
every whatever.
So all
Friday,
5 of you would
Saturday.
have to get together and have
We
dinner.
would all. They expected. So if it was like a Friday night that they expected family dinner, you had to cancel your plans
On a
to
Friday?
be there.
why didn't they?
and
make
how
it
can I ask
Tuesday?
how old were you at the time?
Like early 20s, like past 21.
Oh my god! My
no.
god!
And then I
That,
had
that
a
ain't gonna
daughter
work
by
at all.
23.
I can't
so
go party
between
at the
that
club
age.
because I got to hit family dinner with the roommates.
Dude,
Yeah.
they should have done it on like a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
you do
Sunday.
it Tuesday or Sunday. Yeah.
Sunday afternoon
Tuesday, we're having
barbecue.
family dinner.
Why don't you have a
Friday-
breakfast at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday?
100%. I only lasted in that house for maybe 2 months, and then me and the other, like one of the other people, decided, you know what, this is not for us. We used to get like stoned and clean the house and be like super responsible for everybody else, but everybody else was really weird. But we moved out in an apartment, and we both decided to pay because these girls were so crazy. We paid a collective like $1,500 to get out of this
Just to buy yourself out of family dinner.
I do not want to be in family
we
dinner
literally
anymore.
paid them
Your spaghetti
to move
sucks.
out. Like it was so sad, and like all the furniture was mine, all the pots and pans are mine because I was the only one beforehand that had lived on their own, and it
Shoulda
was
hid it in the
like
garage.
I literally left majority of my shit and ran.
Wow,
Like, it was
paid,
so
well,
bad.
paid $1,500 and left your shit.
Yeah, that's
I am that type of person that
wow.
just
When I'm done, I'm done. Get out.
I'm out.
That's it.
I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm out.
Wow, you won.
Yeah. I think she did win this round. I think you did win this round. So that
I mean,
was-
I have plenty of roommate stories, but that is probably. I did tell my cousin
So
lived
you-
with me once, and I told her she couldn't put a picture of a cupcake that she painted in the living room, and she lost her shit at the age of 40. That was another
Oh, wow.
good one.
Jeez.
But it's my cupcake.
If you don't eat my
I said you
cupcake.
can put it in your room. I really think you would appreciate it more than
Like-
everybody else that comes into this house.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that story, Vern. I
That's
appreciate that.
awesome. Yay. Applause, applause, applause.
I can't remember what button
I
it
was
is.
really into the like, oh yeah, family dinner and everything, but it's like you said, on like a Friday night in your early 20s, it'd be like,
We're like demanded to go.
yeah, no, like, are we fucking 60? Like, no.
Well, what cracks
Hey
me up-
now. Hey,
whoa, whoa.
stop it over
what
there.
cracks me up
all
is
right?
like those girls are not getting laid. If they,
No.
it's like you demanded family
And if
dinner
they
on a
were,
Friday.
who was sleeping with them is what I want to know. That's what, who was sleeping with
All
them.
right,
Men whose
Mark, give
penis
us another
don't rise.
listener story. What do we got?
No, I'm going to give you one more of mine.
Oh, okay.
So I went through 2 divorces. I had some weird roommates. So this one, so I come home and he drank a lot. So anyways, I come home from partying one night with another buddy of mine. We're going to sit in the backyard, get drink some more drinks, whatever. I come home and there is this big dude standing by my fucking front door. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm like, so I see that my roommate's home because I see his car. I'm like, okay, he's just whatever. So I walk up and I go, and the guy he goes, what do you want? And I go, I fucking live here. What do you mean? What the fuck do I want? I'm renting this house.
I pay rent, bitch.
And I go, and he goes, uh-oh. And so this big guy goes, I go, what the fuck's going on? And all of a sudden, fucking my roommate has a prostitute in the fucking in his room and fucking going to town. And this is the girl's bouncer. And I go, does he have a girl in there that you're protecting? And he goes, uh-oh. And that's what he said. And I go, you have 10 minutes to get that girl out of that room and fucking in that car, or I'm calling the police. You have 10 minutes. I don't care, whatever you got to do. Me and my buddy, we go in the backyard. I go, this guy fucker's got 10 minutes. So I fucking sit here and so we're drinking, and all of a sudden you hear, hey, we got to go. You fucking pack your shit up. Let's go, man. So they're so anyways.
Got the crack security team on.
Right. So anyways, they freak out. She's getting her shit, and you hear my roommate start going, I love you. And he's fucking screaming, I love you. And they leave. They get out of whatever. And he sits down on the couch next to me and my buddy. And he goes, dude, why'd you do that, man? I'm going to marry her. And I'm like, and I kicked him out fucking 3 days later. I fucking kicked him out 3 days later, man. I was like,
that
you
sounds
can't,
like the cinnamon story.
you can't. Oh, I said my kid loves cinnamon. But yeah.
Cinnamon was really into me.
I walk up and there's a hooker in my back bedroom, and I'm
I
like,
couldn't
this is-
imagine
Oh.
a pimp saying, oh no, twice.
Oh,
It
twice.
wasn't a pimp, it was the bodyguard.
Because
The
my
pimp's
roommate
like,
had
"You better
lied
get
and said
that
it was
money."
his house. He lied and said it was his house, and I came. I go, no. I go, I'm on the lease. It's mine. He goes,
Well,
uh-oh.
okay.
And then
Do you remember bachelor party? I'm thinking Milt. You know, the big,
Yeah, absolutely.
big burly bodyguard guy. And now, no offense, but you're not the most intimidating fellow.
no,
Mark.
I didn't. He just knew they were in trouble. That
And
they're-
Milt is saying, "Oh, to you."
No, he wasn't. I'm not going to say he was. Let's say he was 6'2", 250, and maybe more in the belly.
So you mean he's like my size?
No. I'm just saying he's 6'2". So I'm not saying he's huge. He's not freaking the
Oh, you're
guy
not saying
from.
he's huge like me.
This being Milt.
Yeah. So, anyways, I had another one that almost set my. He got drunk and left a pot on the stove on, and I wake up and the freaking place is filled with smoke, and he was too drunk. And we can all get. See, you guys don't understand how lucky you are.
Okay, so this one time I had this roommate, and her and her boyfriend would come crash with us, and I came home from beauty school, and they were drunk, and she was kind of like half sleeping, and then she asked me to help make a like homemade dildo of her boyfriend, but they were drunk and naked, and I was like, I'm too sober for this.
I'm like, I
All right.
I'm like, I gotta go.
We're gonna end on that one.
when we come back, since we're sticking with the theme of this, we're gonna do what would you live with between two bad roommates.
Yeah,
So
would
we're
you
gonna be
rather
right
type
back.
thing.
What would you rather? So we're gonna be back. Everybody, we are back. So since we're talking about bad roommates, I thought it'd be fun to talk about So I'm going to give you two roommate scenarios, and you're going to have to decide which roommate you would rather live with. Okay?
It's a would you rather thing.
Yes. So I'm going to do that. So these are like two roommates, and which would you rather live with? Okay. The first one is listens in every time you have sex, or has very loud sex every night. So which would you guys want to live with?
I want him to listen to me because I don't like listening to the chaos of other people having sex.
Okay.
Kayla?
Kayla?
I would agree with that, what Andy just said.
Oh, we got three. All the ladies are, I'd rather listen in. I'd rather listen in.
Boy, I don't know. The one roommate I had, thump, 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 and then I got called into the after pillow talk discussion.
And that's really what it was. Thump, thump, thump.
Yeah.
It was really
This
that
is the
quick.
best 3
It was
seconds of
that
your
quick.
life.
And it was literally thump, thump, thump.
Right. Thump, thump, thump. And I'm like, finally they're done. And then all of a sudden I hear,
Finally,
Jim.
they're done.
Wait, I'm like, Jim, can you come here a minute? No.
Jim's sleeping.
So
Leave a message
so I
after the
go in
beep.
there. I go in there, and they're having discussion of, do women have to fuck their way to the top, or do you think they're promoted on their merits? I'm like, this is what you talk about after sex?
Well,
really?
it was big time stuff, man. It was.
They
you
do.
know,
All right.
but,
Back
you
then
know.
they did.
I'm gonna go to the listen. Also, I don't want to hear.
So see, guys will listen, girls will act.
Listen. I
No,
wanna
no,
know.
no, no. I don't want to
No,
listen.
he
to
Oh,
agreed
it's
to
having
this.
4
sex.
to 1.
Yeah.
Groupie, what do you say?
She doesn't have a microphone, so you can't hear her all the way over there.
Oh man, I got killed on that one.
Listen,
okay.
I do want to say though.
No, we're moving on.
Wait,
Oh.
wait. So
We're
Mark
moving on,
wants
okay.
to listen to people having sex.
Yes, I was,
That makes
yeah.
sense.
I can jack off in the corner. It's like, okay, exactly. It's done. I clean up. I go to bed.
I
I
don't
don't have to
think
worry
this
about
is
any of
where
this.
this is
Okay.
going.
He's like,
All right, here we go.
He's
Okay,
like
another
Caller
one.
Daddy again.
All right, here we go. Leaves their dirty dishes in the sink and never washes them. Or
Yeah, Mark gives it a glare to
hoards
Andrea.
their dirty dishes in their bedroom but washes them all every 3 months.
Hey, I do both of those.
So it's you get. I wish this was on video because Mark glares at Andrea, then he gets the second one, not glare at Kayla.
I just want to say a big old F you to Uncle Mark because I wash my dishes. Thank you. Good night.
Let's
All
roll
right,
this up.
anyway,
Okay, so
Would you
rather-
want leaves their dirty dishes in the sink and never washes them, so you get stuck doing it, or they hoards them in their bedroom, but they do wash them every 3 months?
Andrea, go.
I would rather wash them.
Kayla,
I'd rather wash them.
I'd rather just leave them.
Marnay.
I would rather have the hoarder and not have to deal. Like, if it's in their room, I don't fucking care.
Okay, she's
All right.
a hoarder. All right.
Groupie.
I have the both. Pointed out, I get both.
That's true. Carla's roommates get both. So.
Carla just wants new roommates. Carla just wants new roommates.
All right, let's go on to the next
All
one.
right, so we're gonna do a couple more here. Okay, so clogs the drain with their hair,
Do that.
or leaves
Same.
their used dental floss all over the apartment.
Clogs the drain with their hair.
Uh-uh.
Oh my God, clogs the
No,
drain with their hair.
I'm sorry. I'd rather have the dental floss.
I'd have the dental floss.
You gotta
unless
pick
they-
that shit up though. And what if the
Yeah.
dog gets in? You
You
ever see a
haven't
dog
worked
shit
with
dental
teeth.
floss? It's bad.
Dak.
I work with teeth every single fucking day, and I would rather see your dental floss knowing that you're actually fucking flossing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That hair clog thing. I live with that daily and. Ugh.
It's so
Okay.
annoying when you shave
All right, so
your legs.
Andrea, hair clog or dental floss?
Hair clog.
Kayla,
dental floss.
Marnay, Groupie.
2 to
Hair
2.
clog?
Jim, what do you say?
I'd rather have the dental floss.
God, we're gonna be tied here because I'm going the other way. I'm going with you. I am. I'm
Hair.
going
I don't
All
want to
right,
take
next
I
one.
do. All right, here we go. Okay, so you're living with somebody that either totally hates you or insists on following you everywhere. Insists on
Well, because I lived with Uncle Mark, I'm gonna go with totally hates you.
Get out! Get out!
You don't pay rent.
All right, Kayla.
No, I don't even know.
That's
Totally
a tough one.
hates you.
That is a tough one because, like, I don't want you up my ass 24/7.
I know.
It's
It's a good. These are great questions.
I
so.
would probably say the follow everywhere because at least like you're nice to each other.
All right, follow
Dad
everywhere,
does that
Marnay.
anyway.
I have a child that's my roommate, so follows me everywhere.
Follows okay. That's a follows okay.
Yeah, I've been out of work 2 weeks and she can't stand me being there, so she.
It doesn't matter. You got to vote.
Then I don't know what to say. Somebody up my ass, I guess. For the
All right, so you'd rather have a follower, Mark.
All right, 2 more and we're done.
Wait, what's yours? Follower or hate?
Oh, follower.
Follower.
Yeah, hell yeah, no doubt.
That's
about
why he
that.
lives with Callie.
Exactly. So, okay, 2 more, we're done. Okay. Never, and I mean never, takes out the garbage. Leaves passive-aggressive notes all over the apartment.
Well, since I've lived with Uncle Mark and his passive aggressive text messages, I'm going to go with never ever takes out the garbage.
You'd rather live with someone who never takes out the garbage?
Yes.
Okay, Kayla?
Then passive-aggressive
I don't
notes?
even know. I would say the trash, I guess.
Never
the-
takes out the trash.
You get
Yeah.
your steps
All
in
right.
with the trash.
Marnay?
Passive-aggressive notes because you can ignore that shit.
Right? Groupie?
say never take out. No,
You-
I can do a passive aggressive note.
Yeah,
No.
I would rather live the passive aggressive notes because I can just rip that shit off.
No, I'm too fucking petty.
Parabori? Me too. I'm like, oh, motherfucker, here's your 15
I would
sugar.
just the passive-aggressive notes. I'm with you
Yeah.
guys. I would. Okay, so let's finish this.
'Cause,
This is kind of fun. I like
One
this.
of my
Okay.
first roommates that's not here has actually left me passive aggressive notes on the fridge.
Oh my god.
Well, you and Andrea have a lot in common.
Yes. All right.
I bought a 15.
No,
I bought a
Mark
15
never
pound
did.
bag of
Mark-
sugar, and
Mark
that
never
ended
did.
that debate.
I did it. All right.
I can honestly say though, let me interject. Had Mark not gotten married, if it was just me and him, we'd
We'd probably still be living
we'd
together.
probably still be living together.
Kayla, you wouldn't be here.
No, it might. And neither would Nicholas, and
Yeah,
nothing.
none-
we wouldn't be in this position.
none of you would
right
be
now.
here. All right,
No,
but-
Damn it,
I mean,
that's
I'd
the
still
way-
be here.
Okay, so let's the snooze alarm go off over and over every morning, or plays video games in the living room late into the night every night.
Snooze alarm, because that doesn't bother me. If it's in their room, I don't give a crap.
All right, Kayla.
Yeah, that one's really hard because that's a lot of like, what's their alarm? What video games are they playing? Are they playing Sims or are they playing Call of Duty?
Do they
Like-
still do Sims?
Yes, absolutely.
But I feel like
Alright.
people yell a lot when they play video
All right,
games.
so
We are
you're
gonna do
play
one
video
more 'cause
games?
I like one
Right,
more,
So
Jim,
you're
so-
playing your Andrew's video games, Kayla's.
I'm not video
Alarm.
games.
Oh, you're.
She was
you're-
alarm.
I'm alarm.
Okay.
I'll do alarm. No, I'll do video games.
Video games in the living room, Marnie.
Living room video games.
All right, groupie. Living room. I too play.
Living room video games.
Play your living room video.
Okay,
games.
so we'll wrap it up because this,
All right,
this has
last
been a
one.
fun night. Okay, so throws huge parties every weekend, or gets mad whenever you have anyone over.
Huge parties all day, every day.
I am going with mad when people come over because mom has done that to me. And
Oh,
like, I don't go anywhere. I was a child. I didn't have a car and no one was allowed to come over. So it was very sad times.
So you'd rather
Damn
live
it,
with
Carla.
someone who gets mad that you have people over, or you'd rather live with someone who has a party.
A
every night?
party every weekend.
Oh, I don't even know anymore, actually. 'Cause
No,
every
I
weekend.
bitch about the family across the street that has a party every Saturday.
You have to pick. Okay, this
Pick
is a what
one.
if. You have to pick. We're ending it on this.
No, I would be mad. I don't want the person that would be mad if I brought somebody over.
yeah.
Okay.
So you.
All right.
Okay, so
want
your
to have a
party. Okay, gotcha.
Party, Marnie.
Whatever.
I would party.
Marty, groupie.
What was the other one?
Either you want to live with a person who has a party every weekend, or you that gets mad at you when you bring someone over.
Anyone over. Anyone over.
I'd rather have them get mad when I have somebody over because I really don't give a fuck.
I'd rather live with someone who
That's
probably
OG right there.
gets mad at me for bringing someone over because some parties now. I mean, I was that guy. I was the guy that had party every night. We just went through this.
Yeah,
So-
I could, but that's to make it because I have a lot of acquaintances and friends, I guess, but whatever you want to call them. But I couldn't do it. Yeah, it would bug me if I lived with somebody who said that's pissing me off every time.
I'd rather have them have a party.
But when you live with your wife and you're bringing another chick, I get why she's complaining.
So are you party or are you bringing somebody over?
I'm party.
Yeah, you want to live with someone that has a party. 'Cause I
Yeah,
can at least
exactly. I'm
have
party.
a
All right.
good
Well,
time.
that was fun.
That was
fun. We learned a little
this
bit.
was actually a really fun night. I think it was. I mean, Kayla, I think you're a positive. What's going on? I think no.
The face.
No, I meant for the situation that you're going through. I think you're handling it like a trooper, and I think
In
it's
the
freaking great.
30
I
years
really
I've
do.
been on this earth, no one said you are a positive anything.
No.
My blood type's
You've
negative.
done a very good job
All
of
right,
handling what you're going through.
All right, so coming up in the next couple of weeks, let's see. We have hopefully, if everything goes as planned, we have a 30-year teacher.
Yes.
And what do we have after that?
And then after that, we have two guys. So I worked in a titty bar as a DJ about 28, 29 years ago, and now
Makes
I know
sense.
another guy that's coming now. That is now a current titty bar DJ. So we're going to talk about the differences and
the
the
evo-
plus.
the evolution.
The evolution of the titty bar DJ is
All
what we're
right.
going to be going
Taking
into,
it to the
so.
other again.
Yes, we are, guys. So make sure you tune in for that. Who cares about a 30-year teacher?
All right, so make sure you check out Kayla's.
Let's thank Yahoo. Andrea, thanks for coming out. Marnay with an asterisk, because you got to change your name. Thank you for coming
Marnay
out.
with a chocolate at the top, or no? No.
We
chocolate?
always love Groupie over there. Groupie's always welcome.
All right. So make sure you check out Kayla's Instagram page at ctazadventures.com. Check out Mark's business, johnnybees.net. We're coming into wedding season. Are you getting busy?
Yeah, it's
All right,
been
good,
great.
good, good. All right.
Jesus, good. Gotta go. Okay, gotta go.
Yeah, hurry up.
Good. Gotta go.
I don't really care. All right, thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Good night, everybody.